Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Game Jam Audit. This week, we're taking a look at a game called the Auto-Analyst that was submitted to a 72-hour jam called the Ludum Dare 49 in October 2021, which featured a requirement that all games tie into its theme of unstable. The idea behind the Auto-Analyst is that you're interviewing to become a secret agent in the 1950s and need to answer a series of questions so that the titular Auto-Analyst can determine if you're fit to save the world from the evil commies. Gameplay is very simple. You just read the prompt and respond with one of three possible answers, after which the interviewer will tell you if your choice was correct, wrong, or middle of the road. After 6 questions, you'll receive your final verdict. The visual effects, elevator music, and the expressions the interviewer makes are funny and fit the 1950s aesthetic, but the text looks painfully generic, which massively hurts the visuals since this is mostly a text-based game. It may have been tough to implement with the 72-hour time frame, but I think the prompts and responses would have worked better as a typewriter feed, with the answer choices perhaps being labeled buttons. Also, while the flavor text starts strong and reminds me a lot of Fallout, it quickly becomes flat once you notice how repetitive it is. The interviewer always praises the morally wrong option, is always ambivalent about the questionable option, and always condemns the morally good option. No exceptions. It lacks the juxtaposition between the wholesome veneer and the questionable stuff that makes the 1950s style sequences in Fallout good. Instead, it's just all bad with no variation or novelty between questions. This is compounded by the underutilization of the Auto-Analyst. Despite ostensibly being the device analyzing your choices, it doesn't feel part of the game at all aside from the occasional mention from the interviewer. The interviewer is the one that's actually reacting to your replies, and there's no discernible reason he couldn't just determine your verdict from a key instead of having to use the Auto-Analyst. The only thing it is relevant for is breaking when you switch between correct and wrong answers multiple times, which feels shoehorned in to meet the jam requirements. On to the scoring, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for production. The music, stylized text like the title, and especially the interviewer are legitimately charming and help sell the setting, but the aerial looking text really drags it down considering this game is pretty much all reading. Next, I'll give it a 4 out of 10 for gameplay. The concept is severely let down by how one-note everything is. There's no twists or variations whatsoever, and the Auto-Analyst feels extremely underused and only present so that the jam theme could be forced in. Finally, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for time management. The game is just an interactive web page, and there aren't many assets aside from a single music track, the background, and a handful of images, but it was also the solo developer's first project, so I can't be too harsh on them, particularly since there aren't any noticeable bugs or technical errors. That all adds up to a final score of 16 out of 30, which marks the end of what I have to say. The link to the game is in the description if you want to try it for yourself, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.